one.
What's good, my G's, your boy Snow, Ignorant Gamers in the house, with my man.
Uncle Rizzo, what
What's
up?
goody? So this one is just a light podcast. We might go over the place with this one, but I wanted to talk about the graphics in these driving games, and specifically the Project Cars, the Grid Autosport, the Forza Horizon 2, the Forza 5, and my favorite right now, Drive Club. And I seen your video that you posted a while ago, Rizzo, talk about the visuals, and you got hooked to Project Cars. They had you there for like a good solid week, and
Yeah,
you
I'm
fighting
fighting
it.
it. I don't want to get lost in it.
And I mean, the game looks fucking amazing. And I saw a lot of things in that video. I was like, oh, Drive Club has that. I'm like, oh, Drive Club has that too. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, Drive Club has that too. And
Yeah,
and then we were on Horizon the other day, and I don't know, but every time I play Drive Club and then I go play Horizon, I forget how much better Drive Club is than Horizon, because
oh
Horizon
yeah,
to us looks amazing. Like, it looks great. And they're doing it on a
yeah,
large scale, so let's give them credit for that. We're talking about open world rendering graphics and stuff. That's not an easy thing to do. Um, Forza 5 is tighter on the graphics because there's a lot of things that they can ignore. However, just Horizon looks great.
No, I think Drive Club is definitely the best looking console racing game on the market.
Which was
I
their
don't think
goal,
there's any
and
way.
I'd say they delivered.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think there's no getting around
It
that.
might, in my opinion, I was talking about this too the other day. It might still be the best looking game on the next gen consoles. People are starting to say the Order, which I've yet to see a direct feed or
Yeah, I
myself.
haven't seen the order in
Right.
person yet.
So until then, I'm just gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that they.
What's in that league though?
It has to be, well, legacy wise, it has to be there because
No. What's in that? Like, if you had to give me top three games, best looking games on the consoles, what would it be?
on the
On
on
these
these consoles across the board.
current gen.
Hmm. I'm missing one because I haven't played Sunset Overdrive, and
No, I don't think that's
you know,
running. On the Xbox side, I think it's only what's the name of this
oh,
fucking
I
game?
can break it
Rise.
up.
No, just top
Oh,
three.
top three.
I think Rise is the only one
Yeah,
that
you
would
know
be
what?
in
And I
that. Rise,
yeah, I
Drive
saw a
Club.
direct feed of Rise. I was very 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 impressed.
Yeah, Rise is amazing looking.
I would say Rise, Drive Club. I might put Drive Club and Rise in the same boat. I know it's two different games, but graphically, what they do is amazing.
They ain't much.
And then, unfortunately, from what I did see of, although I haven't seen it directly, from what I did see of the Order, but
Probably the order.
before the Order, I would have put Wolfenstein up there.
Yeah, Wolfenstein's amazing.
You know?
Okay. Okay. So one of the things I noticed, and you said this a while back, I think you were absolutely right, is Forza 5 is definitely a pretty skin on Forza 4, without a doubt. And this is, people will argue that down, but it's validated from the fucking core mechanics of
Right.
the game. It's like the tuning is the same, the physics engine's the fucking same. The goddamn you driving, you looking behind you, fucking trees don't show up in the mirror.
Right.
Like, it's obviously
And that other
it
thing
wasn't
too, when
something that was
when
built.
you're driving and you're going through the turns, look at the white lines, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
I never really noticed it.
Oh,
but
I'll
pay
ruin the
attention
game for
now.
you. You don't want to. I showed you that on Gran Turismo 6 when we was in the cabinet, right?
Yeah, yeah, you did. But I fucking, Forza definitely has not been built from the ground up for the Xbox One. And I think when you look back at Drive Club, that game's been in development for
Yeah.
a while. When you look at Project Cars, that game's been in development
Yeah.
for a while. So these are the next generation racing games. We don't know what EA is coming with Need for Speed, but you can expect it to be fucking ridiculous looking. Because whenever Need for Speed drops and they take their time, holy shit. You may not like the way it
Right.
plays, But I remember looking at Need for Speed Shift for the first time. Just
remember that night race you showed me.
That game made me play it because it looks so.
Remember
good.
the night race you showed me, son, in that game? I was like, son,
Oh
what the
my
fuck? And I
God.
still wasn't driving yet. I wasn't driving games yet. I was still retired from driving games, so I was just sitting there like, yo, that looks crazy.
Dude, that game was amazing. Which is why I have hope for Forza 6, right?
I do too.
And it calmed me down in that conversation you have when it's like, what the fuck? We gonna get a Forza every 6 months? Well, technically they money grabbing because Forza 5 is Forza 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
Forza Horizon 2 is Forza 4.6. you
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
There really is no truly next generation Forza, so I feel like 6 is when they're like, all right, now let's get down to business.
Yeah.
Because you look at Gran Turismo 6, I can adjust the fucking height and size of the spoilers I want on my car and all type of car. I'm like, yo, I can put dashes in the fucking in the cars that do support in-dash view. I can put gauges, oil pressure gauges in there. Like, this is what I wanted from Forza 5 and I didn't get it. So now I'm like, okay, I see what the problem was. This wasn't from the ground up. You know what I mean? They still, and from what I see,
that was a wild spit out, by the way.
Oh, you gotta see the video, dude. I'm gonna upload the video. I was so fucking. This was my first game back to Forza in like months.
Okay.
So I was.
And that's the LFA, right?
That's the IGZ LFA, yeah. And the fucking computer was on unbeatable. I didn't think I passed one of them. I just lost it, son. I'm not the man I once was. But based on what I see in Drive Club, because every time I see Drive Club, like, and I give Sony a lot of shit for that game, and I don't give the game shit. I give Sony a lot of shit because of the tie-ins to the console war and all that crazy shit. But that game is fucking beautiful. And you can tell.
The sound's amazing too.
They were given the specifications of what they had to work with a while ago, and they produced it. And then I played Project Cars, and I'm like, Project Cars is beautiful, right? No doubt about it. This game is astounding to look at. But the part that got me nerded out in Project Cars is the next generation physics that's in that shit. Like, when you come over here and you play that game, the way traction control works in that game, you're just like, what just happened? This is not how traction control has been working in video games.
Video games, right. And that's a big call right there in video games.
And I'm just like, yo! So now I'm going to be looking at Forza like, yo, traction control better feel different. I don't know what these dudes at Project Cars did, but it better feel better than it did last time around. But graphically, nah, B. Drive Club is definitely hit the mark. And then the shit I saw when you had posted with the snow, like that shit was just amazing.
But I sent Tuan and Edgar the raw file. Did I send that to you too?
I saw, you sent the raw file,
Because the YouTube footage, like, it looks good, but
we know.
Because I know what it looks like recorded on my machine. Forget about the live part, but on my machine, I'm just like, son, B,
amazing, amazing, bro. They did a fucking hell of a job with the graphics on that. And I mean, that goes to show, it's interesting. We had this light conversation this morning on the phone, right? We weren't really going hard, but I think it's something we should mention so people understand where we're coming from. The PlayStation 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is a generation and a half console, meaning it's just so fucking powerful. It like that's some shit Toyota used to do back in the 80s. That's what they did with the Supra.
JDM.
They over-designed the engine in the Supra. Like, in 2015, dudes are still pulling 2,000 horsepower out of a 2JZ 6-cylinder engine. That goes to show you this shit was over-designed from the start. And that's, to me, that's the PlayStation 3. Like, that motherfucker, we were talking about The Last of Us. And how it ran on the PlayStation 3. Like, Yo, that console's got
Son,
balls,
and wait, son, when you get your P4, bro, I'm gonna still give you the P3 version of The Last of Us, and again, play the 30 minutes of it.
Just to see how
play the 30 minutes of it, and then turn it on. You're gonna feel that first buttery effect when you play the P4 version, and then when it sets in, you're gonna be like, yo, the P3 version is very close to the P4 version, and it's scary how strong that P3 is.
Yeah. You know what? That, now that I'm thinking about it, that takes away a lot from. But because I commented and I said the PlayStation 4 is a generation title. Yeah. And I want to explain, because you understand what I'm saying, but I want to make sure I get the point across to the viewers. When I say the PlayStation 3 is a generation and a half console, it has enough power to last the generation that it's in, and they could still squeeze a lot of juice out of it in the coming years. Versus the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2 had a wild life cycle, but it wasn't a generation and a half. It was more so a generation console, but people just didn't want to.
Yeah, nobody wanted to let that go.
So we were getting games for it, but the games weren't looking and running better and faster. They clearly hit the peak. But for the PlayStation 3, there's got to be some fuckface title right now currently in development that's going to come out and look just as good as a PlayStation 4 game.
It's like, you know how in PC settings you got your ultra, your medium, and then your low. It's gonna be the low version, and
I wouldn't even say low. I would
medium,
say
like that. Yeah, depending on what graphics card, it's that low medium, that medium low. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be. And Sony didn't push the envelope like that on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, they don't have time yet. Well, actually, no. For what you're saying, yeah, you're right.
No,
for what you're saying, yeah.
It isn't spec like that. Right. Neither is the Xbox, goddammit. You know
and that
was
a cost efficiency thing, so.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I feel like when you understand that, when you wrap your head around that, then you can bring back in that console war thing with the difference between the Xbox and the PlayStation.
That's the only.
It never comes down to graphics and textures. I don't give a fuck about 1080p versus 900p. Tell me you can keep that 60 frames a second.
That's all I care about. Because
like you mentioned, the difference between Last of Us on the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4 is literally the frames per second. See, I would have liked to seen it the other way. I want both to run at 60 frames a second, even if you got to turn down the graphics on the PlayStation 3. But they don't, so whatever. No. Just rambling. Yeah. Just rambling.
Also, too, because I want to keep it extra fair. Earlier, I made a comment about picking off graphics in games. I'm very quick to ruin certain games. I almost want to wait for RZA to get his PS4 and Drive Club before I say this, but I can do the same thing for the Drive Club as well. You know what I mean? Because once you sell me on graphics, my graphic design eye comes out, and I'm just looking for shit. There's a lot of times where I'm like playing a game, and you'll see it. I have this thing where you'll see my car go like this. It go like left, right. It's because I'm looking at certain things, like how certain reflections from shadows and shit. And a lot of times I'm looking at my back window. Like I'm looking at the footage right now that's on the screen, and the shadow looks like a 360 shadow. And some of those trees, they look right. And some of those trees, they look good, but when they get on the car, it looks worse when it's on the car. It looks good on the ground, but it looks terrible on the car. So it's little stuff like that I'm always looking for when somebody starts telling me on something pretty. Is it still pretty? Yeah, regardless whether I find it or not, it's still pretty. But it's just like I go in.
Yeah. And by the way, this ties into that conversation we had on the last podcast with the PC Master Race. This is why you should just come back to the PC. You don't deal with this.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. If you
even like, there's a huge difference between the card you're running and the card I'm running. Right. And on both of them, we'll play the same game and still have none of these issues.
That's true.
But on the console level, I mean, you talking about squeezing and cutting corners at every fucking decision point. You know what I mean? That's why, to me, I started to, when I got my rig was originally for video editing. Right. For what we do. and it just has a decent graphics card.
Right.
And I've been like, yo, let me get into some of this shit, man. And now I'm just like, you motherfuckers want me to be at work arguing with people on YouTube every day. And then I come home and sit down in front of my PC and I got something that's easily 4 times the effort on low settings. What the fuck is the point? Why do I care about your fucking Xbox versus PlayStation
Right, true.
shit? Now, I'm a Microsoft whore, so that's usually the angle you'll see me come in from. But I don't give a fuck. I'm here for, and this is how I respect a lot of dudes who I've heard this opinion before. I'm here for Halo. Yep. I'm here for Forza. I'm here for The Last of Us. I'm here for Uncharted. All the other shit, go fuck yourself. Oh shit, Project Cars is running at 1080p on the PlayStation, 900p on the Xbox. You know what? It's running at 4K on my fucking computer.
Mario Kart. The future Pokemon title.
Yeah, son. I don't give a fuck what you tell me, baby. Mario runs at 60 frames a second from day one.
Mario Kart does run at 60 frames, 1080p.
Before motherfuckers even was checking frames, Mario been doing it. It's a me, Mario. 60. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yo, we gotta talk. We'll talk about this sometime.
Yeah, we will. We gotta name it something different in the title because then Nintendo will come claim the video.
They'll snatch your shit. The original gangsters of the video game world. So they'll come snatch your shit, man. But yeah, you got anything else on the graphic?
Nah, we'll let it rock, man. It's good and good. I mean, it's always been great on PC, and PC is still pushing. But it's also getting really good for consoles. I mean, I think Forza 6 is going to be an amazing looking game. Drive Club is amazing now. I can't wait to see what a Gran Turismo will look like on the PlayStation. And then I can't wait to Grid. I have a feeling this summer Grid Autosport is going to say, hey, we're coming to next gen.
Yeah, Grid. When Grid makes that jump, it's a problem.
Everyone's in trouble.
It's a problem. But again, graphics is a small part of that equation to me with these racers. Like, I mean, come on, so how much better can it look? Some of this shit look better than fucking real life.
I ask that question all the time until we get a game that's like, oh my god.
Right. I'm not looking forward to that shit anymore, man. It's gonna happen. The shit I'm looking forward to is the shit that Grid used to do, where when you put on headphones and you're racing, you can hear the back right suspension compress and decompress. Right.
Almost like Battlefield War tapes.
You driving, you looking back like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Like I like that. Like little shit like in Forza 5, when you come around certain angles and the sun is beaming down, you see the reflection of the dude's gloves in the fucking. I like that. In Drive Club, you see the fucking. You see the faster you go, you see the beads of rain flying off. I like that. In Project Cars, when you hit traction control, like you actually see smoke coming from the side that it took the power away from, and you see the car snapping. Like I like that. That's where I want the next generation. Like put all that power into physics and details that matter. Fuck the graphics, man. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. I mean,
I'd say for console, and we could do this for a couple of years, match or slightly go better than Drive Club, and then we could do everything else physical after that.
Yeah. I don't care about the graphics, dude. Mind you, to prove the point about the graphics, Forza Horizon 2 ain't about the graphics. Yeah. You know what I mean? They did everything. I think Forza Horizon 2, from you talking about a technical standpoint, they did everything right, meaning they delivered on the concept of the game. It's rock solid. Open world racing, tuning, custom paint jobs, custom tunes, races in all type of different fucking locations. That's where I want to see the energy and the effort go, and I really like that they did it. And we played the hell out of it. Right. You know what I mean? They got the car meets. The car meet shit should have been done a little better. Right. I want to see car meets with 50 people now. Right.
Yeah.
You know? Make a car meet a thing when there's more than 10 people in the vicinity. Now it pops up on the map. Yo, there's a car meet going down. So when we join the server, I like, yo, Snow, let's go over here and fuck with these dudes.
Right. Yeah.
Now everybody come together. This shit look like Burger King in North Carolina. The Burger King parking lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking cars everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of like
which I seen in Midnight Club and GTA is crazy.
I forgot Midnight Club. Yo, son, real talk. The shit that I might go buy GTA right now, son. The shit that these dudes are doing in GTA, from a car, a race.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think it's so dope. Like I've seen dudes just driving to this one point, and then they're like, "We street racing here."
Yeah.
And they line up next to each other and they drag racing, and then they come back down the line, and then they drag racing again. They come back down, and I'm just like, all this is in the game. What the fuck, son? And nobody's car looks the same. Like the shit's like Forza. They took Forza and put it in
the Midnight Club and GTA Online. Both of them. It's like they're doing Underground. Without Underground, it's like Fast and Furious all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, son. I don't know, man. I think we're good. We're going in a different direction, but I really want motherfuckers to get away from the graphics, man. I don't even know when should graphics matter in a video game. When should it be number one?
To make a point. That's all. Like for instance, it's all needed, but at the end of the day, like you can't have all the graphics in your game and shit, because back in the days, PlayStation 1 era, and not really the Sega Saturn era, but like the Sega Saturn is part of that, but the PlayStation 1 era, there was a lot of games that was just beautiful, but they were shit, and then one of the games I'm gonna call out, which I'm always gonna call this shit out, is Perfect Instinct, Perfect Weapon, whatever that fucking game was.
Oh, that game had two chances because that was one of the releasing games for the 360. That shit sucked.
Yeah, pretty.
Perfect Dark was the one for the 360. It was a launch title.
And you know, pretty, but terrible. I think Skyberia or Siberia, I'm gonna call that one out too. That was a PC game though, but like, you know, beautiful game. Shit for graphics. Shit for controls. So I think now, like when I play Shadow and Water, it's like the controls on it are so well, but the graphics help put me in that world. Same thing with Batman Arkham. You know, you look at Wolfenstein, like the game is beautiful, but the controls are awesome. You know what I'm saying? And then we play something like Destiny. You know what I mean? Controls were awesome, graphics was beautiful, but the mechanics were off. You know what I'm saying? The philosophy mechanics were off. And then you have something like Horizon 2, a beautiful game, fun to drive, but then there's a racing element that's kind of fucked up in there. And at the same time, what kills Horizon 2, as much as I love this game, is the player lobbies. There's not enough people in there. There's not enough people in there in order to do the things that you're able to do in GTA. There's no reason for GTA to have that kind of a world and Horizon not have it.
And not being Horizon.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe because we're ignoring the crew for obvious reasons, maybe they do it in the crew, but as of right now, it's not done in Horizon. You know, so to me, the graphics of the controls, along with the physics of mechanics, whatever, this is where we at. I think I said it in our video, in the videos that we made, our intro videos, where I was like, I'm very thankful to be able to come from gameplay to graphics to mechanics to story to everything. You know what I mean?
There's quality all around these days.
Yeah.
But you know, when you get used to quality, you start becoming an asshole.
Yeah.
You're like Asian parents in 89. A fucking 89?
You dishonored the family.
You can't do a 99? Right. No. You know what I'm saying?
That's when they take you to CLC, the Chinese Learning Center. Or Kumon, Kumon.
Oh my God. With that sauce, man, hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Holla at us. Anything you want us to talk about.
Yeah, and chime in on the bottom. I mean, might be something in there that we might have overlooked and we could talk about later, or a dialogue with you in the comments. It's all good.
Join the conversation, bitches.
I'm out. Snow.
Uncle Rizzo, we out of here.
Peace.
Peace.